Welcome back, guys. First ride of the season in Massachusetts, and it's a doozy. Lots of wipeouts, lots of mayhem. I apologize in advance. It was not a great day, but it was a great day. As usual, Rich and I got a very early start. I was on the road about 6:30, and with the coronavirus and everything, there's just no one anywhere. Even on I-95, there's usually traffic at this time of day, but not on this day. Unfortunately, when we got to Foxborough, bad news. Welcome. OHV trail closed. What does that mean? Turns out that means try another state park. Maybe there's riding there. And we had success. So here we are, Franklin State Park, off into the trails for the first ride of the year. Good? You good? Am I good? Anybody else coming? All right, off we go. That little drop in there at the beginning of the ride is really steep and rocky, like a real sharp introduction to the trails. But at Franklin, typically pretty flat, sometimes wet, a little bony. We got a lot of rain, but this didn't look too bad. Some puddles here and there, which were kind of fun. And early in the ride, so I was getting frisky. Do a little wheelie there over that puddle. And got to here. This puddle seemed a little big compared to what I would usually see out here, and it was pretty much downhill from there. Getting in early in the ride, you can see I'm just now starting to pick through some pretty soupy stuff. Doesn't seem to be a lot of dry, mostly wet, and some of it was kind of deep, maybe. It wasn't totally obvious. It's a little swampy section here. I think, that was pretty deep. That was very deep. And now I'm starting to wonder just exactly what this ride is going to be like. Spoiler alert, this ride was brutal. I wiped out more times in this one ride than I probably did in the last 5 rides combined. So most of the video is going to be me wiping out. Sit back, relax, enjoy the film. At this stage of the ride, I'm still trying to figure out how I can stay dry or ride around the puddles or not get totally sucked into one. That doesn't seem to be a winning strategy, but I did pursue it all day. Just because you're not winning doesn't mean you need to change anything, right? Now, for a lot of the mud season and the COVID shutdown, I've been riding my trials bike in the yard, really working on my skills, and I was excited to put some of those to work out here on the trail. Let's see how it goes. working my way through these puddles left and right. I was trying to ride at the outside edge of the puddle and use centrifugal force. So if you had just enough speed going, you could kind of ride the outside and hold yourself up there. Sometimes, though, I would turn into the side of the rut, which causes you to crash immediately. I did that many times, as you will see. But having seen the video, I think I may have actually learned something. Learned nothing while I was riding, but in the video room, watch the tape. It tells you all the stories. So we continue to putt along at this pretty mild pace, trying to figure out this terrain. And coming up here, I think a pretty good example of turning into the side of the rut. Oh, I see, got the magnet activated. Good, excellent. That should pull me right at. There we go. Right over. That's what happens when you don't really know what you're doing. But credit to me, quick restart and up and going again. I was surprised that for a lot of this really muddy stuff, I did not make some of the usual mistakes I make, being really heavy on the front and pushing the front end around. You can see there's a little slow-mo here of what I usually do right about here. Basically tucking the front. I didn't do that too much, which was great. Although I did ride into really stupid situations like this a lot. That was not so great. So I tried to get a little footage of Rich, but every time we stopped, he wanted me to go first. I get that, because I've been to Franklin, for a couple of years now. I sort of know the way. But I felt bad because, number one, he saw me crash 500 times. And number two, we don't get enough good footage of Rich. Gotta work on that. One thing about Franklin that isn't that great is there's not a lot of variety. So we keep riding, the trails are pretty much the same, and you get a lot of activity that is fun, but, repetitive. We try to spice it up by driving into trees and, doing some other fun things, and getting a little squirrely. Maybe time to turn the idiot mode on.
You don't have to impress me.
Ugh. trying to get through.
Just got right on the bikes. I'm pouring fucking sweat. I'm a fat fucking pig. It's in my bag upside down. Hey, easy with that cough. You gotta pull the clutch in and put it in neutral sometimes.
Starter works.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Manly men just like wheelie through all these puddles on some kind of magic carpet. I'd love to see it done. It's got to be the case because most of them were not really that deep. But the thing is, if you're going to go 15, 20 miles an hour through them, like it only takes one that's that deep and it would be a complete yard sale. So we're a few minutes into the ride and I haven't really wiped out too many times yet. You're probably wondering, what was all the talk about? Well, there were other surprises to show you about, like this. Boom. You come around a corner and it's like 50 yards of water. Where do you go? Yeah, we made the most of it. And surprisingly enough, it didn't get too... it's hard to watch. Didn't get too wet. At least not at the beginning. I like instantly jumped off my bike there because that puddle is probably 18 inches deep, maybe 20, and my bike immediately went in almost to the airbox. The last thing I wanted to do was get water into the intake system. We narrowly avoided that, and I was very happy about it. There's Rich. He's having fun just like me. Alright, all back together again and head down this fire road. It's all chewed up and eroded. Can be a little nasty because some of those rocks are big. Made it through okay this time. Well, you can see what happened there. I turned into the left edge of the trail, turning into a rut basically, and front end just folds right over. Like I said, I didn't figure that out until later. Yeah, I have no idea what that was. I think just getting a little tired. A whiskey throttle. Glad I didn't put it into a tree. Totally different.
Going slow is a nightmare.
Yeah.
And there was a puddle that just swallowed my front tire. Like I should have, I don't know. You don't know. Like I've never even been here. So I'm like trying to be a hero in my head. I have a couple of these. I don't know. I just got it. I put it on. And so if you hit your back brake, it doesn't bend it to the point where it would lock up your rear brake.
Say that again?
So if you were to hit a rock
Yeah.
and bend that the wrong way, it won't bend it out and it won't bend it down so that it's like in a way that you can't use it. It keeps it within use. You can still use it, but like if something hits it and like bends it up or bends it down, it won't like.
Oh, okay.
Then it came with. So I was like, all right. Again, don't shop late night on the internet. So that's what you end up with.
How many do you have?
I've got like 3 because it came in like a 3-pack. And I figure with some of the technical stuff we do, my luck, I'd bend that in such a way that would.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So. Yeah.
I would definitely use one of those.
Yep. So, and it's not overheating, not that I could tell. I got a fan for it too, which I guess just wires straight under the seat, and just that's the only thing I'm kind of worried about is the not having a Kickstarter. And I don't care about the weight. It's more like the thing in the back of my head saying I don't have a Kickstarter. And then like Kyle was saying, oh, just you can like I know how to wire it to like have like a switch that turns it on and off when I need to. But I wish there was a kit that like when it reached a certain temperature it would kick on, and then when the bike shut off it would shut off.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like automatic and not just keep draining the battery. That's my I don't know, I gotta look into it more. But whatever. All right.
I'm pretty sure that all those guys we saw just took like other trails, and this like goes to Rentham, and they're all like right next to each other, but I don't know the trails yet.
All right.
I've only been riding here for 5 years, I'm kind of...
I understand.
So as Rich has just found out, this is the end of the loop as I know it at Franklin. And this part of the course I've always found to be really cool. I enjoy it a lot. I'm going to let the tape run here and close out lap 1. Check out lap 2 and 3 if you want to see the horrible aftermath. this just about wraps up the very, very end of the lap, and I can tell you that we were all fired up and enthusiastic to do another couple of laps, and we did another couple of laps, and we got very wet, and we got very muddy, and I believe it makes some pretty good video. Check it out. Stay safe, guys. See you soon.